What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving. Book is entitled Lessons from a Non-Custodial Father. At Amazon, Kindle, and Create Space. A link will be in the description box below, as usual. This video is entitled Early Bloomers versus Late Bloomers. I'm going to say there are two types of early bloomers and there are two types of late bloomers. What I'm saying is, some people reach their peak at an early age. They're early bloomers. So, we're talking about the people who were young, high school, college, and they were the most popular and the person everybody wanted to be, right? And they might have grown into the situation of that gave them enough confidence to go further in life, or that stagnated them and they got passed up. And then you got the people who are late bloomers who, because they weren't early bloomers, they had to work themselves to a position where they earned it and they became everything that they wished they were when they were younger. And they maintain things and constantly grow and evolve. And then you have the people who are late bloomers and who basically blow their later years trying to relive their youth and look ridiculous. So the first one is going to be the early bloomer who gets their confidence. You could have been the most popular kid. And you could have been a jock. You could have been, homecoming king or queen or something like that. Prom king or queen, whatever. And because you did that, you feel like you accomplished something, so you had the confidence to move forward in life. And confidence can go a long way. The good thing about that is you're not scared. You're not scared of the risk it takes to achieve something. The bad thing about that is when you're young, the only currency you have is popularity. So what winds up happening is you got people who are just attention seekers. They get older, and if nobody pays them any attention, they lose their mind. They can't fade to black. They gotta just be up front. And that's what, in some ways, what makes some early bloomers that becomes their downfall, because the early bloomer who gets that confidence and stays stagnant is part of that problem. I was the man and such and such. So because you was the man and that was, whatever year of your youth was your best year, now you don't really think you have to put in the effort that it requires to maintain, quote unquote, your status, because you was the man. And once I'm the man, I was always the man. And it's like, no, you're not. And you see these people who were confident and stay confident, but you're trying to figure as you get older, you ain't done nothing. Like, what are you talking about? Like the Al Bundy poke high thing. You get what I'm saying? I scored 6 touchdowns, poke high. Yeah. But you're selling shoes, B. I understand you were great at poke high, but this life ain't poke high. And, because of that, you got people, going to their death, reliving their youth. Like, you see this with a lot of celebrities. They were popping and they was at their peak, and then they can't just slowly fade to black, do a tour here and there, keep themselves relevant enough to make money, but they just gotta be stars. And they do more and more stuff to keep that same presence, and it's never gonna be the same. You can't even fall into being a legend properly because you still want to be, popping with everybody. It's like, you lose it. People lose respect for you. Because now, instead of being in a position where you can help everybody come up, or on their come up, maybe be a consultant, consigliere, be the big homie or something, you're in competition with people. And then people got to put you out the pasture because it ain't your time no more. That's what happens with a lot of early bloomers. And then some of those early bloomers are financially devastated because they didn't learn how to save or understand, not to blow it all on impulses, because they came into everything too young and it was all an impulse. So they use impulsive things to keep themselves popping and wind up destroying their families and their legacies in the long run. Happens all the time. When it comes to the late bloomers, like I said, there are people who, they weren't the one, They weren't the best athlete. They weren't the most popular person. They weren't the smartest person. And they wanted to be that. They were overlooked. They were the underdog, the overachiever, or they were just consistent. And they got better consistently, slowly but consistently. And then somewhere along the lines, all of the years of their hard work took them into another stratosphere. And I think those are the best people because they understand the whole thing. They weren't the man, so they understand that people don't really care about them. The only people that care about them is the people that were around them prior to their success. They had to work. They had to get it the hard way. Nobody gave it to them, because sometimes when you're an early bloomer, you're given more than you earn. And so, they've earned things the hard way, so they know that it won't last forever, because they've seen people who they wanted to be come and go while they were still working at being the one. They understand there is no love and there is not family and everybody's not really happy for you. They get that part. But they're also confident enough to attain their goal and do what they set out to do and achieve whatever greatness that they hit the world for. And what ends up happening is, they're never going back. They're like, I ain't going back where I came from, but I'm going to put myself in a position where I don't have to either, because they got a vantage point. They've learned from everybody who bloomed early's mistakes. If they were smart. Now the ones that aren't smart are the ones I'm about to talk about. The people claim like having midlife crises. You weren't the man when you was early, so guess what? You worked hard and you got yourself to a position, and the position was never really to maintain or pass on anything. You worked your behind off to get to a position so you can get back at the world for not saying that you was the man back then. So now you're blowing it all. Now you're buying unnecessary stuff. You're buying luxury or exotic cars to get attention, knowing you only drive 60 miles an hour. You're buying expensive watches and you want people to know your name. You're throwing extra cash out so everybody knows you're who you say you are. You're kind of like the early bloomer who trying to hold on to it. You're the late bloomer trying to hold on to it. So both of y'all are really tricks and simps in life. So you buying everybody's affection and attention and y'all gonna love me. I'm gonna pay for y'all to love me, to the point where you're at an age where people look at you like you're nuts, because you can get a pass when you're young doing that, but when you're old and you're trying to relive that spot that you didn't get a chance to have, it looks crazy, because you got kids to take care of, you got grandkids to take care of. Some guys have, lost their whole families, divorced their wives, left their kids hanging, destroyed all of their relationships just to chase The idea that I'm gonna be the man now, I'm gonna do what the man did when he was such and such age, but I'm the man now, and I'm gonna do this and that. And it's like you traded in being a man for being the man, and you're not even, and you really paying people to be the man. So you're ridiculously stupid. And when it all falls down for those guys, there's nowhere to go because you're too old to make those moves without people looking at you like, youth isn't involved. It's just pure stupidity, arrogance, and selfishness, and ignorance. So, you made that bed, lay in it. So this is my video about early bloomers and late bloomers. We out.